6 or 7 in 7 innings.
High fly ball into deep left center field by Stubbs, and the Reds are off and running. It's a 1-0 game.
Well, Perez got ahead of him in the count, and that's one of the breaking balls we were talking about. You know, what's really going in favor of the Reds tonight is that they just tried to negotiate the offerings of Chris Carpenter yesterday and Kyle Loesch the day before. Those two guys were really on their game, and the ball must have looked very small to them. Today, coming out of the hand of Oliver Perez, not quite so small.
First leadoff home run of the year for the Reds. Stubbs was the last guy to do it in September of last season. Home run number 2 in this young season for Drew Stubbs. And here's Brandon Phillips ahead in the count 1-0. A .231 hitter from the right side with 1 RBI, 1 extra base hit by Jose Reyes. Double play ball here. Cabrera, 1 throw, and it is in time to double up Reyes, and that'll end the inning. Boy, the beat goes on for Arthur Rhodes. How good is this guy? How good is this guy? Chris, how good is this guy?
Real good.
So the inning will continue now for left-handed batting first baseman Ike Davis. It's bad luck for Nick Massett there. Well, now Ramon Hernandez is going to come out and visit with Massett. I mean, this game is clearly Massett's game. To win, to lose, or continue to the next inning. Nobody getting loose in that Reds bullpen. They've already used Herrera, Lincoln, Rhodes, and Cordero in front of them. The Mets have only used 4 pitchers in this game tonight. Perez, Mejia, Nieve, and Feliciano. Here's a pitch to Davis. Breaking ball, strike 1. Davis 1 of 4. Hit a line drive that was misplayed into a 2-base error by Stubbs, and he scored in the second. Has grounded to Phillips, doubled down the right field line, and struck out against Cordero in the ninth.
Boy, he was hunting up a piece of cheese right there.
Strike 2.
And Massett's not giving him a sniff of it.
Of course, for a little while anyway, everybody that Ike Davis sees will be the first time that he has seen him. And that is the case here for Davis against Nick Massett. The 0-2. What a play by Hernandez.
That's what happens when you try to throw the best breaking ball or splitter of your life. Just get your body in front of it. Ramon, perfect mechanics that time.
Two on, 2 out, 2-2 game in the 11th. Struck him out swinging. Boy, that's nasty stuff by Massett. Reds come to bat, bottom of the 11th. Hernandez, a pinch hitter, and then Drew Stubbs due up. We're still tied at 2. Now Lance Nix. 1 out, nobody on in the 11th. Ball 1. 2-2 now to Nix. Each team with a pair of runs, each team with 9 hits. Reds have left 11. The Mets have stranded 7 runners. High fly ball.
Get out, baby.
Did Nix get enough of this? Francoeur to the wall, and he cannot get it. Reds win on the home run by Lance Nix in the bottom of the 11th inning. And for the 8th time this year, the Reds have won in their final at bat, a 3-2 final. First career game-ending home run for Lance Nix. So in the bottom of the 11th inning, the pinch hit home run by Nix in a 3-2 win.
I'll tell you what, never get tired of seeing that celebration at home plate. The bullpen did a great job to keep this team in the ball game, and you keep running them up there until someone becomes a hero. Tonight, Lance Nix.
So a long night of baseball here tonight. Better than 3 hours and 30 minutes, but certainly well worth the wait. As the Reds come away, 3-2 victors, and they pull their record back to 500 on the year.
Oh, you know what? You climb a little bit, you fall back, and then you climb 2 more steps forward. And another great outing by Mike Leake, set it all up. Great bullpen work. Some nifty defense we saw along the way, and finally, that long ball, which for a while there I wasn't sure it was going to be deep enough to get on out of here.
Barely made it. But the Reds are winners indeed.
He wanted me to play catcher, so he basically, gave it to me when I was 5 years old. And when he came into the league, the Dodgers turned him into a third baseman.
High fly ball to right field by Brandon Phillips, backing up Matthews at the wall, and it sails out of here. A home run for Brandon Phillips.
Another home run against the Mets for Brandon Phillips, and the Reds have taken the lead. Guys.
Well, Phillips going opposite field on the curveball from Nice for his 4th home run of the year. 29 RBIs in 29 career games against the Mets for Brandon Phillips, and it puts the Reds up 3-2.
I told on this curveball from Nice, when we first got to this ballpark, I said to you, Gary, anything I need to know about this park? I said, yeah, there's a airstream that runs straight out to right field, and if you get that ball up, it'll carry, and that one certainly did.
Now, Matthews gave it a great effort, and like Pagan last night on the ball hit by Rowland, came close, but it just got by him and into the seats. So the Reds have regained the lead. Now Jay Bruce swinging and missing, 0-2. What's that?
No comment.
What's that?
Makes me want to put a uniform on again.
I mean, Jeffrey Leonard had one flap down. What was that? One flap up. Pagan settling under it. And Bruce is retired for the 2nd out.
Well, but, there's some styling that goes on today that I'm not used to, but it's a new world. And, when you can hit a curveball to right field like Phillips did, maybe you're allowed to show off a little bit.
Well, since Great American Ballpark opened in 2003, there have been 23% more home runs hit here than in Reds road games. That's the 2nd most home run prolific ballpark, more than Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. The only ballpark that has had a higher percentage of home runs versus road home runs is U.S. Cellular in Chicago. So, this is just a fabulous place for a home run hitter, particularly a left-handed home run hitter, the way the ball flies out to right. 1-1 to Johnny Gomes, and the curveball swung and missed. 1-2.
Probably saying to yourself at home, how come Nice is struggling against this Reds team and didn't against the Phillies team? He has never established his curveball in this ball game today. And the fact that home run came on a curveball, that's the big difference why he's given up these 11 hits.
Comes in at the feet of Gomes, 2-2.
I don't know how this ball did not hit Gomes. I think it almost went between his legs. Never moved.
The home run, only the 2nd Nice has given up in 6 starts this year. You know where that ball would have been at Citi Field? 10 feet shy of the warning track. This one's hit in the air a ton to deep left center. Pagan looking up at the wall, and it's out of here. Johnny Gomes with a home run, his 3rd of the year, the 2nd home run of the inning for the Reds, and Cincinnati leads 4-2. mentioned it last night. Gomes is an all-or-nothing type hitter. 20 home runs in 281 at-bats last year, and his third home run of this season.
Well, the thing about Johnny Gomes, kind of a middle plate in kind of hitter, much like Rod Barajas of the New York Mets. And if you miss in that spot, he's got an awful lot of power. And you see Jonathan Neese, unlike the Phillips ball he was hoping would stay in the park, kind of knew this one was long gone.
2-2 to Tatis, and the curveball hit in the air to center field. Hit well. Back goes Stubbs onto the track, right at the wall to make the catch. Tatis with a 405-foot blast. But the ballpark was big enough for Stubbs to grab it.
Well, he hit this slider awfully hard off the bat of Tatis. Stubbs kind of drifting on it. Looks like he was going to run out of room after a while, but able to make the catch.
Ball has really been carrying today. David Wright got a little bit of that in the 6th inning when he hit an opposite field home run. His 7th of the year and his 4th in 6 games on this road trip. And David swings and misses at the fastball from Owings. 0-1. David against Micah Owings is 4 for 10 with 2 home runs. And he takes another rip, and it's 0-2. Feliciano and K-Rod. Pedro if it's a tie. K-Rod if it's not. It's not. Well, it is. 1-2-3 inning for Owings. It'll be Orlando Cabrera, Joey Votto, and Brandon Phillips, right, left, and right for Perpetual Pedro in the 10th inning. Cabrera is 2 for 4 on the day and drove in a run with a 4th inning single. .22 hits in this game, 10 for the Mets, 12 for the Reds. And the first pitch, ball 1 to Cabrera. And a fastball strike, 1-1. Changeup outside, 2-1 to Cabrera. Feliciano last night threw just 2 pitches and wound up being the winning pitcher. Got the final out in the bottom of the 8th, and then was the beneficiary when Barajas homered in the 9th. The first win of the year for Feliciano. Is there anything less demonstrative of a player's effectiveness than wins and losses for a relief pitcher?
You don't want to have a lot of decisions, to tell you the truth.
3-1 now to Cabrera, leading off the bottom of the 10th.
Fastball, look out, baby, as he got it! Goodbye! Game winner! Home run! Orlando Cabrera! How about that?
And for the second time in this 3-game series, the Reds win in extra innings on a walk-off home run.
Well, Dusty Baker's squad has a lot of fight in it too. 14 wins now, 9 have come in their last at bat. And the veteran Cabrera, a winning player, gets the Reds a win today.
And after Fernando Nieves struggled in his 3rd straight game last night, Feliciano pitching for the 4th straight day gives up the home run that decides the series as the Reds take 2 out of 3.
Well, it's a series of close games here. Mets against the Reds. Jonathan Neese.
My oh my, how the weather has changed in the last 24 hours. This time last night we were at 85 degrees. Tonight we're more at 55 degrees. Game 2 of this weekend series between the Cubs and the Reds. And the Reds looking to even this set at 1 game apiece with a victory here tonight. Left-hander Tom Gorzelani in his first year as a Chicago Cub after coming over the middle of last year from the Pittsburgh Pirates. And again, it's Orlando Cabrera leading off tonight. He looks at ball one.
Not a lot to Gorzolani, except he knows what he's doing. Fastballs away, sliders in. He changes speeds, tries to keep you off balance that way. And he's very good about keeping the ball in the ballpark. Has given up only one home run this year.
That one into center field and a leadoff single for Orlando Cabrera. 0-1 to Joey Votto. Cabrera at first with one out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. And there's a high fly ball in a straightaway center field. Burned at the wall, and it is gone. Home run number 6 for Joey Votto, and the Reds jump on Gorzolani in the opening inning to a 2-0 lead.
Joey Votto is a very exceptional left-handed hitter, and one of the things that really separates him from a lot of the rest of the pack is the fact that he hits left-handers so well. He's got a lifetime batting average over 300. So he hangs right in there on that Gorzolani pitch, and he puts his ball club up by 2.
Ball 1 to Scott Rowland. Votto comes into this game red hot. A 6-game hitting streak, which now is extended to 7. He has 12 hits in his last 25 at-bats.
I mean, the guy holds himself to such a high standard, too. You stand around the batting cage during BP for Joey Votto, and if he mishits a ball, just hits a lazy fly ball to center field, you can hear him muttering, "Come on, get on top of it. Swing the bat right." You know, trying to talk to himself, getting himself fired up in batting practice. Most guys kind of go through there and they get their little work in, then they get out. But Votto takes it as seriously as anybody I've ever seen. Well, Aaron Harang on top of his game tonight. Right from the very first pitch he threw, outer corner, struck out the first 3 batters he faced. When he wanted to hit the outside corner, didn't matter, lefty, righty, he was on it tonight. 9 punch outs. He walked one. That was the last batter that he faced. 6 2/3 innings. And the Reds needed him tonight after getting shellacked last night 14-7. They needed a starting pitcher to go deep into the ball game. And they called on the big guy, and he delivered.
A couple of errors and a walk loaded him up with nobody out. Zambrano comes in to fan Rowland. And there's a base hit into right center field. That'll score a couple of runs and another huge hit by Johnny Gomes.
Now Johnny Gomes just decided to go with the pitch right there. The pitch is down, and boy, he is a good low ball hitter. Centers the ball on the bat. Right center field gap, drives a couple in. Dusty likes it. And there's a couple of runs you're talking about. I mean, it's a big deal nowadays when you take a guy like Zambrano and you put him in the bullpen for a while to get well. But back in the day, it was commonplace. Go down there and get your act together, and then we'll call you back up from the bullpen.
We're going to have to hurry to try and get Stubbs. Castro's throw, not going to be in time. 1-run scores, throw to the plate, and safe. Johnny Gomes on an infield hit scores all the way from second base. How about that? Well, you knew when it left the bat they were going to have a hard time getting Stubbs, but how about Gomes? Watch him all the way from second.
Speed is a wonderful thing. I mean, Castro gets to this ball quickly, gets rid of it as quickly as he can, but even a perfect throw is not going to get him. Now, that throw beats Johnny Gomes at the plate, but he must have beaten the tag. Now, Lou Piniella went out to argue with Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, but before he got too argumentative out there, and that's a good call because he tagged him high and he slid low and got his feet in there. And I think he asked Giovanni Soto, did you get him? I think Soto must have replied to him, I'm not sure. So Lou didn't decide to argue vehemently, and the Reds have blown it wide open here with 4 big ones. Gift runs.
That ball hammered into left center field, and Ryan Hannigan grand slam here in the bottom of the 8th inning. How about that? Hannigan matched his career high in runs batted in, 11 already this year with an RBI double in the 7th. And now a grand slam to cap off a 5 RBI night. How about that? First career grand slam for Ryan Hannigan. Cubs down to their final out of the night. And this looks like it might do it. Votto to Giannis. And the Reds roll over the Cubbies tonight, scoring 11 of their 14 in their final 2 at-bats, including a 5 RBI night from Ryan Hannigan, who hits his first career grand slam. And another good outing, lost in all this, Chris Welsh, from Aaron Harang.
Oh, another great outing for Aaron Harang. That's what you need. You need your starters, especially the top of the rotation, clicking. It did tonight. Aaron Harang, boy, coming up with a big outing when he needed it, because I tell you what, for a while there, Tom Gorzelani was shutting down the Reds until the Reds came up with a big 11 runs in the last 2 innings of this game. But a whopping of the Cubs and the rubber game tomorrow.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. The Reds trying to make it back-to-back wins over the Cubs. Their last road trip, they went 4-3 through Houston and St. Louis, and a win today would make it 4-2 on the homestand against the Mets and the Cubs. Tyler Colvin, a 2-run home run to give Chicago its first lead of the game. So now the Reds come to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing. 8-9-1 in the batting order. Ball 1 to Ramon Hernandez.
Always interesting to see how the opposing pitcher will respond to that. I mean, he was keeping him in the ball game. Dempster was just hoping he'd get some offense. Now that he's got some, we'll see what he does. He was a guy originally signed by the Florida Marlins. Was in Cincinnati from 2002 and 2003. Struggled through a 2003 season when he was injured. He had a neck injury. He had an elbow injury. Eventually, he had Tommy John surgery later in the year, around August the 4th. And after the season was over, the Reds made him available, and the Cubs picked him up for $500,000.
That ball tagged by Ramon Hernandez down the line, and it's up against the wall and ricochets toward the line, which will enable for sure a double by Hernandez. And now Dusty Baker with a decision to make. Does he send Mike Leake up there to bunt, or does he bring in a pinch hitter? And apparently he will send up Leake to bunt.
Well, Hernandez is a very good high ball hitter, and in this inning already, it seems that when Dempster's missed, even though this is the first batter, he's missed up. You can't miss up there to Hernandez. He tomahawks that ball off the left field wall. Would they try the same play here with Hernandez on second base as they tried earlier with Johnny Gomes, where a fake bunt, that time by Drew Stubbs, pulled the bunt back, brought the third baseman in, and the runner stole third, no problem.
Ramos Ramirez going to guard against that. He took a peek down, and the bunt is to third. The throw there, and the runner is out. Played very aggressively there by the catcher, Coy Hill. I mean, he popped right up. Not a good bunt by Leake. And there's a base hit into right field. Mike Leake will stop at second base as Fukudome gets to it quickly in right.
Well, another ball up, and both of the high ball hitters in this lineup have hit it in this inning. Ramon Hernandez off the left field wall. Orlando Cabrera likes the ball around chin high, and he drives it to right.
The Reds do have activity in their bullpen. They have Mike Lincoln throwing, and now with Leake, the runner at second base, he will be taken down for a pinch runner, Chris Heisey. So an outstanding start today by Leake. And the Cubs finally got to him With 2 outs and nobody on in the 7th, the double, an infield hit, then the home run to take the lead. But again, Mike Leake, just another excellent start. 7 innings, allows 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Leake walked only 1 while fanning 6. And Leake still with a chance to be a winner in this game. If the Reds can come back, take the lead, and nail it down. But first things first, they're down 1, just trying to tie. And there are 2 gone in the inning with a tying run. Heisey advancing on to third. So now what does Lou Piniella do? Sort of. Well, he got turned, had a conversation with Alan Trammell, and turns around again. And we'll see what Lou Piniella wants to do. It is a tough call right here.
Well, it is a tough call because Joey Votto has struggled in his career against Ryan Dempster. Dempster knows that. In fact, Lou knows that. He looked it up. There's what you see right here. This is updated for today. In his career, only 2 for 12 against Ryan Dempster, but one of the hits was a homer. He's just going to check on his right-handed starter and then sprint on back to the dugout.
Well, that didn't last long at all. I'm not even sure that Dempster had anything to say. It was almost like Piniella went out there and said, let's go get him. Joey Votto 0 for 3. Fly to left in the first inning. Grounded out to Terrio at second in the third. And then struck out on 3 pitches his last time up in the 5th. Tying run at third. Lead run at first. High fly ball in the right center field. Joey Votto has done it. Joey Votto, a team high 7 home runs. And on the first pitch from Dempster, a 3-run bomb to right center. And the Reds have recaptured the lead. It's 5-3. Oh, what a big home run by Votto.
That guy can play the game.
Crowd wanting a curtain call from Joey Votto.
Well, it was a breaking ball down and in, right in his wheelhouse, and boy, did it sound good coming off his bat. A long bomb to right center field.
Mike Leake likes it. Votto does his curtain call for the crowd. They talked about what an important game this was today for the Reds. A chance to go 4-2 on the homestand. Series wins against the Mets and the Cubs, a couple of teams that believe they are contenders in the National League this year. Soft ground ball to Phillips, and the Reds take 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies. The rookie sensation Mike Leake goes to 3-0 on the year, aided by a 7th-inning 3-run bomb from Joey Votto. And the fireworks blast off, celebrating a 4th win in the 6 games on his homestand.
Well, you do a nice job on his homestand. You do the same thing to the Mets, who came in here previously. You've got the Cubs 2 out of 3. And a matchup of, I think, the pitchers that the Cubs really like their chances today with Ryan Dempster on the mound. But that young man, Mike Leake, just continues to impress, continues to shut down the opposition, made it look awfully easy today. And the Reds got him enough runs to hang on for a win, 5-3. They'll hit the road, head to Pittsburgh for 3, plus in 45 minutes.
Cueto has been tough on the Pirates, 6-2 in 9 career starts. Just so this year, 1-1. Take a look at the numbers, 5.18 ERA out of San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic.
Pinch hit single last night in the 9th inning for him, but he comes up empty. Strikeout. And it's a strikeout. Foul tip for the strikeout. Oh, Offers that pitch up and away. Runner takes off for second. And a double play.
Strike him out, throw him out.
Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Up inside. Not this time. I'll stay out of it.
And a base hit for Jay Bruce. Phillips scores. Votto waved home. And Votto will score, I believe. Yes. He went around and then slap tagged the plate as Bruce delivers on the 2-2 pitch and gives the Reds now a 5-0 lead.
That's like a dagger right now. The curveball not quite far enough out. Jay Bruce turns it back around, and all of a sudden it's 5-0, and John Russell's going to make yet another change.
Well, look at this. And another story is right here in Pittsburgh with Johnny Cueto one-hitting the Pirates.
We got the evidence now.
The gutter guards. Whoa. Oh, nice try by Cedeno and Jones, but it's Cueto who gets the hit.
A lot of hustle. He's up 5-0. He's worked very hard with his pitching, but he legs out this base hit. And look at this. There's some effort right there.
I'll say. Here is Chris Heisey.
And he swings and hits one to deep left field. Does he have his first big league home run? He does. How about that? Chris Heisey with a night to remember here in Pittsburgh.
For this central Pennsylvania native.
This is like Jay Bruce stuff.
Three hits. His first career hit in the first inning. His first career home run. And the Reds blow it open.
Correct part of the ballpark for the high fly ball. Doesn't bank it by much, but it makes it. You're right. A night he won't forget.
Chris Heisey. His first home run last week. He had his first start in the big leagues against the Mets in Cincinnati. Promoted from AAA Louisville on April the 30th. Down at Louisville, he was hitting .241 with 4 homers. Last year's minor league player of the year. The road ahead is brought to you by Toyota moving forward, and tomorrow the final game of the homestand. Homer Bailey looks for his first win. He'll be opposed by Zach Duke. 12:35 start as Doman lifts one to left. One pitch, one out. Johnny Cueto is 5 outs away from the shutout.
And one man over the minimum faced. And when that occurred in the third inning, he struck out 3 batters in and around that one runner. Base hit by Cedeno. The other runner, Cedeno, also hit by a pitch but erased on the double play. Strike him out, throw him out.
Big swing and a miss from Millage. That pitch upstairs. Now they got the bat and return for the home run ball.
Look at this. 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Unbelievable. It's like they're in a hurry. Buck's just up there swinging away and down 9-0. Look at that. 85 pitches.
That's Greg Maddux like.
Yeah. Easily the longest outing of the year for Cueto.
You wonder if Dusty will let him run the table. He's not had a complete game, as we've said, his first 2 years.
His longest start before tonight. 8 innings last May 3rd, 2009 here at PNC Park. May 3rd last year against the Buccos, he went 8.
Third full season in the major leagues. Very impressive work tonight.
You have to wonder if Dusty Baker is a little gun shy. I don't think he is. I don't think he pays any attention to what was said about him in Chicago, and guys like Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor were injured, and some were kind of pointing fingers. Swing and a miss. Goodness gracious.
Wow.
7 pitches.
With a strikeout.
Wow.
Terrific. Early, and here's the one blemish. Just out of the reach of the shortstop, and since then he's just been trucking. Faced one batter over the minimum. He's been outstanding. He'll come out for the ninth to try to put a lid on it. That's his ledger. Very impressive work. One hit.
This will be the Reds' first complete game of the season. They have been shut out twice, but this would be their first time shutting out an opponent, and it would be the 4th time the Pirates have been shut out. Cedeno takes 2 pitches. He's the only man to have reached tonight a hit and hit by a pitch. Was that hit off the glove of the shortstop, Janisch, Steve? Was that a ground?
Just out of the reach, yeah.
I mean, if you're talking something historic, had that ball just been a few inches more toward Janisch, we've been talking about a no-no.
Yeah, he has been that good tonight. He's been good and he's been efficient. This might be the longest timed at bat so far for him tonight against him. That is his 95th pitch and his 7th strikeout.
Pirates post-game coming up next. Extended highlights and analysis, plus our closer Kent Jacoby ready to answer your questions and break down key plays. Pirates post-game is next here on FSN. Steve Pearce bats for Brian Burris.
These are the kind of situations you really like to pinch hit in, isn't it?
Yo, sure.
Guys just blowing everybody away. They get a bat, get up there in the 9th inning.
Santa.
Has left the building.
Santa's seen enough. No, he's got just, okay, a little rally seat.
So he's going to head back up the chimney.
Thanks for the call, guys.
Did you ever get coal in your stocking?
No, I have to say. You?
There's some years I didn't get a stocking.
#100th pitch and a strikeout of Pearce.
Not just a so-so pitch to get an out. That was a fastball, still a good fastball right on the outside corner. A pitcher's pitch here in the bottom of the 9th inning. It has been his night.
He has matched his career high with 8 strikeouts. He's done that 3 times in his career, including earlier this season.
Didn't he have 10 in his debut?
This is grounded to third. Cairo picking and throwing, and this one belongs to the Reds. Johnny Cueto with a 1-hit shutout, his first major league complete game, and a grin from ear to ear.
Complete game, and it is a masterpiece.
Yep, you have to acknowledge that. He was just dynamite tonight. The Pirates never got anything going. tried to stay close for a while, but then the ball game got away. It was the Cincinnati Reds all the way tonight.
9-zip final, and zip is the operative term. He just zipped through this Pirates lineup up and down. 102 pitches for Johnny Cueto to improve to 2-1. And the Pirates now face Homer Bailey for the Cincinnati Reds, and if they're going to find that offense, today really should be the day.
You would think so. You know, you look at what he has done this year. You add up his walks and hits. He's got 60 base runners in 31 innings. Throw in 6 home runs. This could be the day we break out.
It had to be his best game ever in that regard.
Ball hit into the corner for Brandon Phillips. He'll have himself an extra base hit. And in scoring position with 1 out. A double for Brandon Phillips. His 3rd hit of the series. Came in batting just .207 lifetime against Zach Duke.
I think this is a slider, perhaps. Yeah, I think that's what that was. Probably trying to throw it on his hands. Got it down a little bit below the belt. Phillips able to get the head to it and keep it fair. Actually kept it fair by a bunch.
At his 7th hit and 30 at bats in his career against Duke. We mentioned Votto, .625 career average versus Zach Duke. 10 for 16.
Go ahead and turn and fire. I'll be there for you. Step off. Got to step off.
He gets that big lead again. Here's a pitch to Votto, and here's a high drive. Hammered back into right field. 2-0 Cincinnati.
Step off there.
And he just serves up the home run to Votto.
When the shortstop goes to the bag and then stands there, you know, and you're just waiting this whole time and you're watching him, you can't be really focused on now your pitch. And he throws a breaking ball, and I think he might have hung it a little bit. We'll see the replay and see where it's at. But right now, just go ahead and step off. Now he's got to wait for Crosby to get back to his position. And oh yeah, boy, he hung that breaking ball big time. You got to think that what was going on at second base, you know, had to distract him a little bit. Homer Bailey's numbers, they're not pretty. 32 innings pitched, 18 walks. I mean, that's to go with, I think, 42 hits. We're talking 60 base runners.
You know Millage is pressing. And he strikes out. Folks in from Montreal to cheer on the Habs. And that should be 2, 4, 6, and 3. Double play through 2. Jaramillo caught looking. Bailey gets him finally. And he goes down swinging as Bailey strikes out the side. 4-zip Reds.
He swings here and lifts one high and deep to center. Back goes McCutchen. He'll leap up, and he didn't get it. That one disappears over the wall just to the left of the 399 mark. A home run for Drew Stubbs, his 3rd of the year.
Watching McCutchen was going back on it the way he set up. I thought he was going to have a shot at it. He thought he might be able to catch that ball, that's for sure.
Stubbs.
Anytime a ball goes to dead center field, you know, you have a good feeling it might stay in. I mean, that's the deepest part. Although in this ballpark there is the notch, but still.
Easy ground ball to first. 6 pitches, and Pirates quietly go down 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. 5-0 Cincy.
And that was what you needed to help you get back in a game and overcome being down by 5.
Jaramillo. Oh, what a pick by Phillips. And they turn a double play.
I guess they messed the other one up to show us that they could do that.
Wow, what a play by Brandon Phillips, and then the pick on the other end by Votto. Stood around the major leagues. The Reds return home, and they'll host the Civil Rights game, which will be Saturday against the Cardinals. Both teams will wear throwback uniforms circa 1947. There will be roundtable discussions during the afternoon, and quite a list of people on hand for that game. We'll go back to that. Strike called on Aki, rather on Delwyn Young pinch hitting. Rick Porcello, 7 innings of 3-hit ball. Tigers lead the Yankees 2-zip in the 7th. Craig Stammen of the Nationals 2 for 3 at the plate. And the Nats leading the Mets 4-2 and trying to forget about a disappointing loss yesterday at Citi Field. Atlanta leads the Brewers. And the Cubs in front of the Florida Marlins at Wrigley. Homer Bailey now looking for his first career shutout. Last night, Johnny Cueto, his first career shutout. I imagine they'll have to go back to the record books a long, long time to find out when the last time 2 pitchers pitched their first career shutouts back to back.
What was amazing is that 89 pitches going into the 9th inning for Cueto. And I thought that was very impressive. And now Homer Bailey, he starts the 9th inning with just 80 pitches. Both of them, I mean, that's the hallmark of their games, or the efficiency, keeping the pitch count extremely low.
Delwyn Young goes up and chases for the 6th strikeout for Homer Bailey. And there you look at that incredible pitch count. His last start, as we mentioned, he threw 120 pitches, and you're talking 6 2/3 innings. Here's Cueto. Swinging on the first pitch. Fly ball out to left. Imamura 0 for 11 in the series and 1 for his last 29 at bats.
Not a happy day in that Pirate clubhouse dugout. Crosby taking a strike. Pirates a day off tomorrow. Try to figure this thing out. This homestand really looked promising. Did not turn out that way. Took 3 games from the Cubs to get the ball rolling. And we get to go see the Cubs again in 3 games. So, as I said earlier, maybe that's what we need.
Wow, 90 pitches. That is unbelievable. But the Reds do it. Last back-to-back complete game shutouts by the Reds. You have to go back to 1989. Did it back-to-back against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Cueto pitched the 1-hit shutout last night, and today, Homer Bailey, a 4-hit shutout. And a 5-0 victory and a sweep of the 3-game series.
Well, you know, Greg, you can't do anything about stuff that's already happened, and these 2 shutouts are done and over with. But the club really has to, you know, I think do a little reflecting tomorrow on what their approach is at the plate, what they're trying to do in these at bats. And you know, I don't know if the lineup needs to be, you know, thrown in a hat and pulled out or something, but you know, I was waiting for better starting pitching, hoping that would be, you know, what cures our ills. We've gotten better starting pitching, but now the offense seems to have gotten into a funk.
In a weekend devoted to celebrating history's civil rights, huge drama will be played out on the field in Cincinnati. To town come the Cardinals, sitting in first place. But how long will they occupy the top spot in the Central? The answer to be determined next on Fox Sports Ohio. It is an absolutely beautiful weather night in downtown Cincinnati as we kick off Civil Rights Weekend and the first of three between the top two teams in the National League Central Division. The Cardinals sitting atop, a half game better than the streaking Reds as we begin this three-game weekend series. And hi again, everybody. Alongside Chris Welsh, I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds baseball. And, Chris, clearly the Reds come in on quite a roll. They're doing it in every facet of the game. We'll talk about their offense later. But generally, when you put together five-game winning streaks, you do it with great pitching.
Well, coming out of spring training, pitching was supposed to be the strength of this ball club, and it has recently reared its head and said, yes, it is part of the ball club that can carry this team. Starting with Aaron Haragna's last time out against the Cubs. You see the Cubs starter, or the Red starters overall 5-0 with a 1.4 earned run average. They've got complete games. They've got shutouts. They've got young guys feeling like they can really go out and compete with anybody. This is a very exciting team to watch because their pitching has been so good.
Now, we know the Cardinals, by and large, have dominated the National League Central Division over the last decade. Yeah, a little hiccup here, hiccup there. The Cubs sneak in one year. Maybe Milwaukee is a wild card winner. But again, St. Louis, they're used to sitting atop the division. But look, they've lost 3 in a row, 7 of their last 10.
Well, not only 3 in a row, but they lost 3 in a row to the lowly Houston Astros, who you never can count out of anything. But it just goes to show you anybody in this division in a certain time can beat anyone else.
Tying run at second base, winning run at first, with 1 out here in the 9th inning. And a ground ball to the shortstop starts a game-ending double play. The very first pitch in the at-bat is a 6-4-3 double play to end the game. And the Cardinals win the opener of this 3-game series by a run. 4-3 the final. Reds and the Cardinals. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Let's take a look at Tony La Russa's starting lineup tonight. The Cardinals lead the Reds in the Central by a game and a half. Our Gillette Civil Rights game moments away from getting started. You notice the teams are wearing uniforms circa 1947. And, of course, that's in celebration of Jackie Robinson's rookie year with the Dodgers when he broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. The game being played during the regular season for the 2nd straight year, and both years the Reds are host to the game. Whether that will continue remains to be seen. But I tell you one thing, it would be a very difficult act to follow for any city, Chris, trying to match what has taken place the last 2 years here in Cincinnati.
Well, Major League Baseball has been a big help in that, but the Reds have been so cooperative. The city of Cincinnati almost perfect for it with the National Underground Railroad Museum, Freedom Center right next door here to the ballpark. Worked out great. Another perfect weathered weekend, and we're ready for some baseball, some first-place baseball coming up right here.
Colby Rasmus digging in. Cardinals getting their first look at Mike Leake so far this year, and there's ball 1. This game is underway. Perhaps a little early gamesmanship. Leake was into his warm-up tosses, had only thrown 2 pitches, and the umpire came out and asked him to remove some kind of a bracelet that he was wearing around his wrist. So perhaps the Cardinals trying to get in Mike Leake's head a little bit, but anybody who spent any time at all around Mike Leake will know that he won't even bat an eye at that kind of thing.
Now, maybe the Cardinals thought it was some kind of strange talisman that he had around his wrist and he couldn't pitch without it. I got news for you. This guy can still throw the ball at the knees with or without that bracelet.
1-2 to Colby Rasmus, and he is gone swinging to begin the game.
Ernie, let's roll the clock back a little bit. Let's go back to 1950 when you signed as a young man to play for the Kansas City Monarchs. And you played for the Monarchs for a few years and then hooked up with the Cubs. How did that happen, and what was it like in that transition from Kansas City, the Negro League, into the National League?
Well, it was a big transition. I mean, I didn't expect to make it to the Cubs. The last game, me and the guy named Bill Dickey was there, and Buck O'Neill, our manager, told us to meet him in the lobby. We did, and he took us to the place. We were sitting in the cab and got there. We looked up at this big red sign and said, Wrigley Field. I said, what are we doing at Wrigley Field?
There's your guy, Ernie Banks. Johnny Gomes, a home run to the second deck.
Hey! 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 No, I just see him. I don't know him, but his enthusiasm really impressed me. To play the game, play hard, not to look at other things. I mean, you make outs and all that. Look at this swing he's got. Wow, a powerful swing. God almighty. Who's your hitting coach? Who's your batting?
Brooke Jacoby. You remember him. He used to play for the Cleveland Indians for a long, long time.
He worked with all the hitters. Wow, this is an exciting ballpark, exciting fans. You got a great owner, Mr. Castellina. He just love it.
Well, you know all the owners now.
He hates to lose.
You know all the owners.
Yes, he hates to lose.
Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3 to Yadier Molina, and Leake, after striking him out, will go get his bat for him.
Here, Yadi, you forgot something. It's a pretty good looking slider right here. Yadi thinks it's a fastball. He says, hey, go get the bat, young man. You know, it's one thing to be a strikeout victim. It's another thing to look that bad doing it. Hitters do not like that.
4 strikeouts in the game now for Mike Leake, and with 2 away, here's Skip Schumacher, and he rolls it foul, and Mike ahead of him at 0-2. Leake closing in on 100 pitches in the game. And the Reds, right from the very beginning of this season, are very much monitoring how much Mike Leake pitches. Number of pitches, number of innings. His first year as a pro. 6 innings in the book for Leake. He has allowed just 2 runs to the Cardinals. 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Reds and the Cardinals are tied at 2, and game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. Scott Rowland did not like a called third strike from the home plate umpire Rob Drake his last time up in the 4th.
And it was the exact same pitch that Adam Wainwright led him off with in this at bat, which is a curveball.
Into left field, and this baby's headed to the wall. This will be a 1-out double for Scotty Rowland. And the Reds have a go-ahead run at second base with 1 out in the 6th.
Now, they wanted to set up the fastball, get it right inside on him, and they did. But Scott Rowland's a very good high ball hitter. If you want to get in on him, you've got to get it down underneath the hands, not above the hands. And he rolls that top hand, lines it down the left field line. And again, the Reds have a runner in scoring position.
All right, now Johnny Gomes. He has been the man lately, seemingly has delivered time after time after time when the Reds have needed him most. Opening game of this series last night, Gomes 3 hits, scored 2, robbed of a hit his first time up today, and then tied the game in the 4th inning with a home run. And even though it's righty against righty, again, to repeat the conversation we had with Tony La Russa before the game, he said, watching this guy right now and the way he is playing, he's the kind of guy that scares you to death. And they're going to want him. How about that?
Well, you know, I think Tony is obviously an astute manager, maybe the best in the game. A lot of people think so, and I might be one of them. But, you know, one of the jobs of the manager is to recognize who is hot on the other team. Not necessarily according to numbers, but how he looks at the plate. What kind of stage presence he has. Is he on the pitches? Does he take the pitches like he knows he can hit them if he wanted to? And right now, Gomes is hot. Now, there are times when Johnny Gomes is as cold as ice water, and you want to pitch to him all day long. This is not one of those times.
So the Reds have 2 on, and now it's up to Drew Stubbs, who Has bounced out to third and struck out 0 for 2 in the game. A 2-2 game with 2 on and 2 outs. Ooh, he got a hanger, it looked like, right there on the first pitch, and slams it foul behind the plate.
Well, the first pitch, get ahead pitch is always nice, and that's a breaking ball right there, and Stubbs just pulls off of it.
And it wasn't as much of a hanger as I thought, coming in real speed. And that's a pretty good tilt, too.
I'll tell you, it looks even better if you're in the batter's box.
Yeah, I bet.
Looks awfully easy from the comfort of that leather couch in front of that big LCD screen, huh?
No doubt about it. 0-1 to Stubbs. Breaking ball again, identical result.
Well, he's got very quick bat inside, Drew Stubbs does, and he jumps on that high inside fastball. It was a fastball, I believe, he hit last night for a home run. So there are certain zones, rather than pitch to hitters' weaknesses, sometimes pitching coaches will instruct you to stay out of certain hot zones.
Nothing in 2 on Drew Stubbs. Wainwright ready, and here comes a pitch. Breaking ball again, and this time Stubbs lays off of it. Big at bat here for the youngster Stubbs. 2-2 game, last of the 6th inning. 2 on, 2 out, 1-2 pitch on the way. Just off the outside corner.
Well, they've seen 3 curveballs and a slider.
Wainwright okays a sign with Molina. Look back at Rowland. And that ball is drilled into right center field. Hit very well, and it's up against the wall, and this will score a pair of runs. And Stubbs on his way to third with a 2-run triple.
He got a slider, but this time it caught some of the plate, and boy, did he make a great adjustment. Drew Stubbs stays right on this pitch and drives it in the seam between center and right, and that'll clear the bases. So for the second night in a row, Drew Stubbs comes up big with the offense. 1 swing of the bat, drives in 2 last night, and drives in 2 again tonight.
He has knocked in 5 runs in the first 2 games of this series as Drew Stubbs. 1 in, 1 on, 1 out, a 1-run lead. We're in the 9th. And a 2-2 to Jay. Struck him out. Foul tipped into the mid of Hernandez.
And it's almost like Francisco Cordero's reached back and found himself another gear. On that last pitch at 96. You know, they say about one thing about closers is that when they get the adrenaline pumping in a tight closing situation, that's when they reach back and find their best stuff. Oftentimes these closers get beat around a little bit in non-save situations when they go out for a tune-up. He's got the adrenaline pumping right now.
Well, the Cardinals have announced a pinch hitter for Brendan Ryan. It'll be Joe Mather. Middle infield of Cabrera and Phillips, along with the catcher Hernandez, out to talk with Cordero. And now Brian Price, the pitching coach, coming out to make sure that everybody's well aware of the scouting report on Joe Mather. Mather only 36 at-bats the entire year. Without a home run, has 2 runs batted in. Mather very much has home run power. Not getting many at-bats with a big league club this year. And that ball is laced into left field. It'll go to the wall. Getting to it is Heisey. They're going to wave the runner. And here comes a throw by Cabrera. It's up the line. The tag. The game is over. The rookie Heisey to Cabrera. Hernandez, a beautiful athletic play at the plate. Playing it on one hop. Dives and makes the tag. And that's the way this game ends in a thrilling 4-3 win for the Reds. How about that?
That's a defensive version of a walk-off right there. Reds slapping some leather on him. They've won it in their last at-bat more than anybody else in the league. Here they throw the leather on him. A great relay. Oh, how about this by Cabrera? A pick by Ramon Hernandez and the tag in time. Wow, what a way to end the great day at the ballpark.
Well, what a great play by Hernandez here as well. Not very often you call a catcher athletic. That's an athletic play. You know that guy is one or two steps away. You're fielding the ball that you know is up the line. It's on a hop. You got to play it cleanly and then dive for the tag. Reds a half game back. Between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds, and the Cardinals leading the Reds by a half game in the National League Central. And hi again, everybody, alongside Chris Welsh. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds baseball. What a finish to the game last night. Well, the Cardinals' number 4 hitter had a chance to do damage in the top of the inning. But Holiday ended the inning with 2 on and 1 out by bouncing into a double play. And now the Reds' cleanup hitter, the one-time Cardinal Scott Rowland, gets a chance to get his team on the board.
He's ever given a team.
Hit pretty well to the deep right field by Rowland, and it is gone. A 2-run home run by Scotty Rowland. The Cardinal cleanup hitter fails in the first. The Reds cleanup hitter delivers in the first. 2-0.
Now, we always say that there's nothing more satisfying than a 2-out ribeye, and that's what Scotty Rowland gets right here. It takes a good fastball from Penny at 96, going the other way with it, and rockets it right out of here. But what has to be equally as satisfying to Rowland, he did it against his old team and against Tony La Russa, somebody that, despite what they will admit, they like to grind it against each other a little bit.
He intentionally walks Hannigan. And now it's Bronson Arroyo. With the bases loaded and 2 men out. Arroyo's only hit this year was against Brad Penny, and it knocked in a run. Chokes up on that bat and shoots one into right center field, a base hit. 2 more will score. And Bronson Arroyo, a 2-out, 2-run single to give the Reds a 6-1 lead.
Now, sometimes you play all the baseball odds you possibly can, and it's a missed pitch by the pitcher that backfires, and a good bit of hitting by Bronson Arroyo. Puts a nice little compact swing on that baby, right center field, drives a couple of them in, and gives the Reds a 5-run cushion. Nice bit of hitting for Arroyo.
Indeed. All right, Bronson Arroyo. Here in the top of the 9th inning, going to work on Skip Schumacher. This has been the only part of the batting order that has given Arroyo trouble the entire day. It's the 3rd time that Schumacher has led off an inning. In the 2nd inning with 1 out, he walked. And in the 5th inning, he led off with a single and scored a run. But a weak ground ball to Brandon Phillips. 1 out to begin the ninth. Arroyo gunning for his 10th career complete game. He had 3 of them last season. There's a check swing and ball one to Jason LaRue. LaRue has been on base all 3 times today. A single, a walk, and a solo home run. Would also be 4 starts in a row where Arroyo has just been so good. I mean, so many of these Reds pitchers, up and down with the exception of Mike Lee, started the year so poorly you just couldn't believe it for nearly a month. And now for 3 weeks, they have been absolutely sensational. And now the Cardinals are down to their final out of the afternoon. Nick Stavinoa now pinch hit. Well, Bronson Arroyo trying to nail it down what has been a big weekend here in Cincinnati. And the pitch to Stavinoa. High fly ball, right center field. Boys and girls, the Reds are in first in the National League Central. The last time they were in first place later than May the 15th in a year, you got to go back to June of '06 when they had a half-game lead over the Cardinals. And after losing a tough one here on Friday night, Dusty Baker's Reds rallied to win by a run last night. And Chris, in the decisive game today, took it to them right from the start in a 7-2 win.
Well, they really did. Got great pitching from Bronson Arroyo. A key decision early on by Dusty Baker to walk Albert Pujols, take the bat out of his hand, worked perfectly as the next batter, Holiday, grounds into an inning-ending double play, and the Reds built momentum and never looked back. So the first-place Reds take time to celebrate this evening and come right back tomorrow to take on the Milwaukee Brewers.
7-2 our final. We'll be back with more in a moment. After yesterday, a flip atop the National League Central Division as the Reds are alone in first, and they'll open a 2-game series tonight against another division rival, their first meeting of the year with the Milwaukee Brewers. Hi again, everybody, alongside the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds Baseball on Fox Sports Ohio. And, Cowboy, this role has been amazing. In fact, it has been the best among all teams in Major League Baseball going back to the end of April. The Reds are doing it and doing it every night.
Well, they're doing it in such a special way. You have to give a lot of credit to the defense of this ball club for that record right there. They have played pretty much errorless baseball from the beginning of the season. But I guess the thing that strikes everybody the most, and when you come to the ball game for excitement, is the fact that they've got 9 wins that come in their last at bat. That's the most in the big leagues. How about that?
It's been mighty exciting each and every night. No two ways about it. You never count them out. But, Jeff, you know better than anybody. It all starts and oftentimes all ends depending on your starting pitching. And after a pretty lazy month in April, things are rolling now.
Well, they really are, Tom, and I think a lot of it has to do with some of the older guys, 24 being old, that is, working off the 22-year-old Mike Leake. Mike Leake has taken this ball game by storm, throwing a lot of strikes, whether it be 0-2, 1-2, and now you've got Aaron Harang, you've got Bronson Arroyo, both the 24-year-olds, Cueto and Homer Bailey, following this kid, pounding the strike zone regardless of the count, and I tell you what, it has turned out magical.
We got to believe this will be the final pitch, final batter of the night, more than likely for Cueto if he's able to retire in the spot due to lead off the next inning. And this should take care of him. So how about Johnny Cueto?
Great job.
Off a 1-hit shutout his last start. Allows 1 run, 7 hits tonight. Chris Heisey will bat for Johnny Cueto as the Brewers make a pitching change. Right-hander Todd Coffey. He has become a very different pitcher since leaving here and going to the Brewers.
Oh, no doubt about it. His sinker has come back to him, and that's what he uses the majority of the time. No more four-seamers, just sinker, slider.
Heisey batting for Cueto. Johnny goes 7 innings tonight. Allows 7 hits, 1 run, walks only 1 batter, and fans 7. Another outstanding start by Johnny Cueto through 113 pitches in the game.
Well, I think at any time that the Reds have this opportunity to go bullpen to bullpen, it favors the Reds every single time. At least it should.
Straight away center field. Heisey puts a charge in the wall. Racing back is Garrett. He's not going to get it, and this might be 3 bases for Heisey. It will be for Heisey. How about that off the Reds bench? Cowboy, I know you like this young man a whole lot. You've been talking about him since spring training.
Well, you don't find a kid that has more class than Chris Heisey off the field. And I really believe, Tom, that because of the way that he lives his life and the way that he carries himself, he feels no pressure when it comes time to play the game. Regardless of the situation, he's relaxed. He's confident in his ability, and then when he gets his opportunity, he cashes it in, and he just cashed in a triple.
All right, now the Reds have a chance to get their first lead of the game. Infield in for the Brewers at all 4 positions. McGee, Escobar, Weeks, infielder, and here's Cabrera. He looks at a fastball, strike 1. First career 3-base hit for Chris Heisey. The 0-1. And there's a base hit, and the Reds lead it 2-1. Cabrera driving in Heisey. Reds with a run in the 6th to tie, a run in the 7th to take the lead.
You look at Chris Heisey, Tom. Game against the Cardinals. He wins it with his defense. Just coming out onto the field in the very last inning of play by being able to make a perfect throw to the cutoff man and cut down the guy at home plate. Tonight, he comes in as a pinch hitter and drills one over the head of Jody Garrett out in center field. That does not happen much.
Well, now left-handed batting Jay Bruce coming up. And they're going to intentionally walk Jay and take their chances with Johnny Gomes.
And from a Reds perspective, Tom, I kind of like this move for the Reds. Johnny Gomes is a fastball hitter. He likes the ball middle in. That's where Coffey throws the baseball. The one issue that remains is, can Gomes lay off of the slider that's off the plate?
It's amazing how much you can pick up by watching a player when they're really going well. But even an at-bat, or maybe only one at-bat, or a trip to the plate. You heard over the weekend, we talked about our conversation with Tony La Russa, and how he said, this Johnny Gomes, he catches your eye right from the get-go. Said, saw him a little bit last year. Said, but right now, playing like every game is his last game. He said, those guys are dangerous. And then we had Ernie Banks up here, who never watches Reds baseball. Saw Johnny Gomes in just 2 at-bats that night and said, man, this guy looks like a player. And in that same at-bat, he blasted that home run in the 2nd deck. Well, let's see if Johnny can add to this 2-run lead with 2 on and 2 out. Drilled into left center field. Oh, Johnny! Oh, Johnny! Oh, Johnny! It's his wheelhouse. And boy, he unloaded. This will be a curtain call for Johnny Gomes. If he ever gets through the high fives in the dugout.
He's fired up. And you never really know until the action is done. You still have to execute. It's not that easy to hit a home run. But the fact still remains, he's a sinker ball pitcher. They go away, and it runs right over the honey hole, and he lets it fly.
And Johnny giving the crowd a curtain call indeed. And the very next batter, Drew Stubbs, drilled with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Nick Massett will pitch the 8th inning.
You can see the eyes of Gomes as he hits that baby right on the sweet part of the bat and watches it head off into victory lane.
He's fun to watch, man. I mean, he's not going to stay this hot forever. But I'll tell you one thing.
But you ride him while he's hot.
He brings so much life to this team. There are a lot of intense players on his team. There are guys that care on his team.
Well,
Gomes one of the few who visibly you see it, a very emotional player.
And I think that is what you're starting to see now is guys realize that it's okay to show a little emotion. It's okay to go out there and get yourself dirty and get after it.
Fly ball into right field will be caught by Hart. How about that? I don't know if the Reds were hitting and running there, but after Stubbs got drilled with a pitch and a 5-run lead,
he was gone.
Oh, Johnny. Two and two to Braun. 2 outs, 2 on. In the air, right field. Bruce coming in, and the Reds hang on to win it.
Coming back with a fastball. And Votto hits it a mile. That is way gone. Wow. Joey Votto hits one up into the boat. Number 9 for Votto, and that is about as long of a home run as you'll see in this ballpark.
Now the key is, though, for Estrada, he didn't walk him. He wanted to throw the fastball, make him hit his way on. That's exactly what he did. It's a 4-2 ball game. And right away, everybody in the ballpark knew this was out. That's a first for me. I've never seen a ball hit up there.
4-2 Milwaukee. Giannis at first. The pitch to Roland is.
Here's a high drive. Hit back into left center field. This game is tied. Scott Rowland banging a 2-run pinch hit home run off of Trevor Hoffman. And there it goes. Rocket to right field. It's off the wall. Being raved in is Chris Heisey coming to the plate. And this one belongs to the Reds. Trevor Hoffman unable to get a batter out in what becomes a 3-run 9th inning for Cincinnati. Joey Votto hit a sinking screamer off the base of the wall and right. And Heisey comes around from second to plate the winning run. 5-4, the Reds win to extend the winning streak and to sweep the series. Here it comes. He hits a high fly ball back into deep left center field. Chalk it up. Reds lead 5-0. Joey Votto with a bases loaded home run into the deep left center field portion of this ballpark. And the Reds have struck for 5 big ones in the second inning.
Hot shot off the glove of Cabrera. And all hands are safe.
You never know in this game. That'll be the 4th error of the afternoon, and they're loaded.
There's a little stress involved here on his pitches.
Breaking ball, that's hammered into the right field corner. That's going to score 2. The Braves have him first and third with nobody out. We got a Wago, folks. It's 9-5. Ground ball toward third. Bobbled and no play. Cairo couldn't make a play. It's 9-6 and they're still loaded. High fly ball, pretty well hit. Back goes Nix at the wall, leaps. It's off his glove. It's a grand slam and the Braves win it. Are you kidding me?
That one launched into right field off the bat of Lance Nix, and this baby is tied at 1.
Well, back-to-back games now, home runs for Lance Nix. A left-handed swinging slugger rips that one into right field. Did not wait long at all to jump on a Jake Westbrook fastball.
So Lance able to get in the lineup with the DH employed, and how about this?
That may have been a changeup, but it's interesting because when Dusty Baker is able to work him in the lineup, he usually tries to do it against pitchers that he anticipates Nix doing well against. Guys that pitch fastballs, preferably low fastballs, that's where Nix likes it.
To the runner Votto in the air left field. And Johnny Gomes, a 2-run home run. Mr. Welsh, you said it. He got something to launch, and boy, he didn't miss it.
I'll tell you what, he's hung in there and at a bat because Westbrook gave him a couple of pretty good pitches down and away, and Gomes just barely fouled off. And then it looked like he made a mistake with a changeup that came down towards the middle third of the plate. And after an 8-pitch at bat, Johnny Gomes goes deep. That's a hanger.
One thing about the Reds, especially as we get toward the later innings, they've been involved in more one-run games than any team in baseball. 17 already this year.
Yes, indeed. They're familiar with that. That's a lot. I mean, they played 41 games. So just under some 40%.
They have 10 wins against 7 losses in those one-run contests, and they're a perfect 4-0 in extra innings. So they've been good at winning the games close and late. Up high, ball 4. So Aaron Laffey walks the leadoff man here in the 6th inning. And now you've got the dangerous Lance Nix coming up. First off, our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Shin-Soo Choo's home run put the Indians on top. Johnny Gomes' 2-run shot put Cincinnati ahead 3-1. And then Choo's second home run of the night tied the game at 4 for the Indians. Long ball night. Lance Nix homered a solo shot his first time up. Doubled and scored in his last trip to the plate. Now facing the lefty Aaron Laffey. Broken bat. Line drive right field up into the fence it goes. Coming around to third as Gomes going to be waved home. Valbuena's relay to the plate. Not in time. And the Reds come right back and take the lead. 2 batters into the 6th inning.
Unbelievable. They come right back. Second straight game that Laffey, within 2 hitters, has given the lead right back.
Well, I said, for whatever reason, especially here of late, he has struggled coming out of the bullpen.
You know, the first batter's faced 10 of 18 for Laffey, and now even though he breaks a bat and shatters it, Nick still gets enough of this ball to get it down the line into the corner, and that bat shattered.
Split in half.
So they said, all right, let's be aggressive. Gomes, average runner. He ends up scoring from first base. Sneaks in there behind Marson. Here he comes, looking at the play all the way in, and scores. It's now a 5-4 lead.
bloop to center, and another base hit.
There you go. He picks him up.
A 2-out RBI hit for the Cincinnati Reds here in the 6th inning, and now they lead it 6-4.
Cabrera did a nice job. Picks up his teammate Stubbs right there, and you know when that guy gets a 2-out base hit, you're thinking, all right, no problem. Look at that, smiles all the way around. Well, he goes down. He gets a sinker. He was just trying to put it right in play. He does just that.
Jam job back to the mound. The flip, and the Reds win it here tonight by a final score of 7-4. And with that win, the Cincinnati Reds have now evened the all-time interleague series with the Indians at 32 games apiece. On the year, Cincinnati goes to 24-18. The loss drops the Indians to 15-25. 10 games now below the break-even mark. So a disappointing defeat to the Indians, who lose at 7-4 after battling back to tie the game at one point at 4 apiece. But the Indians just unable to stop Cincinnati offensively as the Tribe bullpen faltering here tonight. The win goes to Bronson Arroyo. He's now 4-2 on the year. The loss goes to Aaron Laffey. And Aaron Laffey is now 0-1 on the season.
Brandon Phillips originally was a shortstop, but he is a Gold Glove second baseman. Wind the pitch, and it's in the dirt for ball 1. Outfield spread out fairly deep for Brandon Phillips. The wind and the pitch, and it's just off the inside corner, 2-0. Fausto Carmona. A year ago, left-handed hitters batted .331. This year, .238. That's been the biggest difference. The 2-0 pitch swung on Rick, deep left field. This is headed for the wall, and it'll short hop the wall. Karam played by turns. The throw into second is offline, and a stand-up double for Brandon Phillips, his 14th double of the year. And he just continues to make the Indians pay for ever letting him get away.
Another one of those former Indians that come back to haunt. I mean, he could be slumping, the worst slump of his career, and see an Indians uniform and come to life. Although Fausto right there, Tom, it makes a lot of difference when you leave a ball in the middle of the plate. Didn't do that to Cabrera, jammed him, and right there left a fastball all about thigh high out over the middle.
So Phillips is aboard with 1 down. No score, first inning. Here's the left-handed hitting first baseman, Joey Votto. The pitch is outside, ball 1, and somebody missed a sign. Shortstop Jason Donald thought a timing play was on, and he went to second base as the pitch was being delivered. Votto hitting .310, 10 homers, 31 RBIs, leading the Reds in home runs and runs batted in.
Well, Brandon Phillips last night with 1 out tried to steal. No, there were 2 outs, weren't there? No.
Yeah, there were. The pitch swung on, line drive, base hit, center field. Well, he's going to trot home now. Up throwing is Trevor Crow, but the ball trying to be cut off at the mound by Laporta. It kicks away from him into foul ground in front of the Indians' third base dugout. Mike Redmond goes to get it, and that'll be a single, an RBI, and a throwing error on Trevor Crow. Laporta went to cut that ball off at the pitcher's mound because there was no chance to throw out Phillips. And the ball kind of short-hopped Laporta, and it kicked off him and ricocheted into foul ground on the third base side. And now the Reds have a runner at second base, leading 1-0 with 1 out. Votto's 32nd run batted in. I'll bring up the left-handed hitting Jay Bruce, who's in an 0-for-12 skid. But this young man, Mark Shapiro, the Indians general manager, was talking about Jay Bruce. What a great future Jay Bruce has. He's only 23 years old. He's a tremendous athlete. This is a very legitimate Reds contender, and it's a very young team. The set, the pitch. Fastball straight.
Yeah, really, with the exception, well, Hernandez has been around, but Roland, Hernandez, and Cabrera, other than that, they are a very young ball club.
And where they get younger, Mike, is the pitching rotation. Wait till they get the Cuban Missile up. Chapman. But in the meantime, with guys like Cueto and Volquez comes back, Leak, Bailey, the 0-1, swung on, ground ball single. With the shift on, a ground ball single to left by Bruce. That is going to score Joey Votto. Throw back to first after a big turn by Bruce, but he dives back safely. 2-0 Reds. Indians went to that shift there, and Bruce shot it through the left side of the infield for his 17th RBI.
I think that's what Mark was talking about. Now Bruce able to adjust. Got a sinking fastball away. The reason, of course, they're playing the shift is because they play this young guy as a dead pull hitter, not able to adjust to pitches away. That time he did. He stayed back, took the ball to the opposite field, and drove in a run. This program to go to NASA. The 0-1 pitch is hit high and deep to right. Chu back, Chu looking up. It is gone. High and deep into the seats in right field. Lance Nix with his 4th home run of the year. And the Reds have scored 2 more here in the 4th inning and lead it 4-0. Wow. So Fausto having his problems tonight. That was launched. We call that the launching pad out there, and you've seen a lot of launching pads, but
that was well hit.
That was a pretty good shot, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
But did you know at one specific time that when you wanted to go into space?
Mike, when I was 8 or 9 years old.
2 runs in, 1 out, 6-4 Cincinnati. Outfield almost to the warning track. Straight up. The 2-strike pitch. Down and in. 1-2 the count. Cordero's ready. He lets it fly. High heat. Full count. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but already 32 pitches for Cordero, and you wonder how much he has left in the tank. This inning so far for the Indians, 2 runs, 3 hits, and a walk. Runners at the corners. The payoff, a swing and a foul ripped through the first base coaching box. And Chu having a terrific at-bat.
Boy, Chu and Crow have really done a good job fouling off borderline pitches.
Yeah. And Russell Brandon drew a walk after he was down in the count. It's not been easy, to say the least, for Francisco Cordero. His payoff. Ball. No, I beg your pardon. Strike 3 called. Crow stayed at first that time. Chu thought it was ball 4, kind of a delayed call by Angel Campos. Oh, what a huge strikeout for Cordero.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tom, it looked like a pretty good pitch. Come back fastball at the knees. Chu thought, I think it was low, because when he looked back, the catcher, Hernandez, caught that with his palms down. I'm surprised, actually, that he got the call from the home plate umpire.
Now Austin Kearns with 2 down. The set and pitch. A swing and a fly ball, pretty well hit toward the gap in right center. Bruce on the run, reaches out and grabs it, and the Reds hang on. Austin Kearns trying to plug that gap in right center, but Bruce got a great break on the ball, and the right fielder makes the catch. And the Cincinnati Reds survive the Indians' 9th. The final tonight, Cincinnati 6 and Cleveland 4.
Ballpark, where the first place Cincinnati Reds will open a weekend series with the Houston Astros. Thanks for joining us tonight here at Great American. Paul Keels and the Cowboy, Jeff Brandley. Been looking forward to this for a long time, Cowboy.
I have too, buddy. It's going to be a good one.
It certainly is, and it's been a great run lately for the Reds. First place by a half game now with the Cardinals winning in Chicago, but the long ball certainly has been a big part of what this success has been about. For the Reds and the Astros to kick off this weekend series here at Great American Ballpark, and Sam LeCure making his Major League debut.
He will be the 6th draft pick that will make it to the big leagues from the 2005 draft. To feel for Sam LeCure when you sit where I am right now. I can remember that first Major League outing and your mouth drying up so much you couldn't even get any saliva.
Who was it against?
Atlanta Braves.
Well, that's a nice start if you can get it to start like that. For the first out of the inning. Who was the first batter? Leadoff batter.
First batter was Andres Thomas, and mine didn't turn out like this. Watch this ball run back to the heart of the plate. That's a two-seam fastball, and you can see the two fingers there right on the pitch right before he lets it go. Nice, easy mechanics, nothing fancy, just basic and getting the ball to the plate. One thing that we watched Wandy Rodriguez do last year is he does not hurt himself. He throws a lot of strikes, moves the fastball on both sides of the plate. He'll sink it away from the right-handers, cut it in to the right-handers when he's on the inside part of the plate. He's got that big sweeping curveball that he can throw at any time, and the changeup that he'll fade away from the right-handers.
His stuff's always looked good. But certainly the hard luck has really been not only just the team's issue with the Astros, but it has really hurt Wandy Rodriguez with lack of support. Well, good to see Brandon Phillips out there after what must have been a few tense moments watching his situation last night.
Yeah, with that cramp in his right leg.
Tags this one. Brandon Phillips, Bourne, moving back. See you later. Tie ball game. What cramp?
Yeah. Well, he's taking his time today. That baby hit the bullpen netting on top of where they sit out there right as he rounded first base.
Long ball number 7 for the Reds second baseman, Brandon Phillips, to tie the game up.
His bat's starting to come alive a little bit.
It sure is.
Paul, we've seen this time and time again from the Reds where the opponent will score a run instead of the Reds coming out and just going up, three down. They end up coming back and at least putting up a fight against the opponent and being able to come back and put numbers on the board. That's got to be a good feeling for Sam LeCure in that dugout.
Well, that dinger by Phillips, now 17 consecutive games in which the Reds have hit a home run, the longest streak in the major leagues.
We were just talking about that.
Yes, we were, weren't we? I thought that sounded familiar. And the guy who got the ball rolling last night, Scott Rowland, stands in with 2 out and a run in. It was a few weeks ago when this team was playing in Pittsburgh and the weather was cold. And Dusty Baker was talking about with Orlando Cabrera and Scott Rowland. They were playing to get them to the warm weather.
Got that right. Both of those guys have been huge to this team in the clubhouse.
And chops this one down the line, and he's going to get a base hit out of it. I think Pedro Feliz thought that was going to go foul.
Anything on the grass in this ballpark will stay exactly where it is. If it's on the dirt, it will roll foul. And you can see how close that is there. But that ball started on the grass and it never moved.
So Scott Rowland on at first base with the Reds having tied the game on Brandon Phillips' homer. That followed the long ball by Hunter Pence in the top of the first. Johnny Gomes.
If you check the stats and you look at them real close, you'll notice that the Reds do a whole lot of damage with 2 outs.
Yes, they do. And Johnny Gomes has been a guy that's been a big part of that and having a pretty good month of May himself. A .361 batting average here in the month of May, second in the National League for Johnny Gomes.
I'll take that.
Any month, any year. Opposite field. Pence on his horse, moving all the way back, and he does not get to it. Rowland is going to be waved home. Gomes is going to try for third base, and he will motor in with a triple that scores another run.
Well, when I said he was a good hitter with 2 strikes, I didn't mean that he was going to hit a triple the other way. It's just that he locks in a little bit more and doesn't become over-aggressive in that count. He's still aggressive early, but yet you saw that swing there. That ball was out of the strike zone, but yet it was elevated enough to where he could drive it the other way.
And he doesn't make the mistake to keep looking out in right field. He picks up the third base coach, Mark Barry, and motors on.
He is hustle with a capital H.
And, of course, this is exactly the situation that you want a guy like that, with Joey Votto not being able to go. You just don't see teams carrying backup first baseman anymore.
And the thing with Cairo is he can play. He could pretty much play any infield position. I think he would be a little bit short if he was at shortstop, but that's one of the reasons that you have Paul Janisch. Cairo can play the corner spots at first and third, and Paul Janisch can play short and second.
Cairo yanks this to left for a base hit. Well, he continues what's been a pretty good run here as of late for a veteran of over 14 major league seasons, Miguel Cairo. And a look at the Honda standings going into play tonight. The Reds with a half-game lead. The Cardinals won this afternoon at Wrigley Field. You see the Cubs at 5.5 back. Cairo on the move. And the veteran sneaks in there with a steal. Miguel Cairo, his first theft of the year.
Cairo has a walking lead there. And personally, I thought that Rodriguez was going to throw over, and I don't think he thought he was going. He picked the knee up and just came onto the plate.
I was wondering about that. He just maybe forgot about him over there. Big rip by Brandon Phillips. It was the big blast early last night from Scott Rowland that got things rolling for the Reds.
Got that a 3-run jack right off the bat. It's nice to run out to the mound with a 3-run lead.
Yeah, I bet it would be. And Johnny Cueto just took it from there, didn't he?
Yeah, he was dealing. Probably could have gone a little bit further if not for the blister in his previous start on his finger.
Rowland. Is it enough? Scott Rowland bounces it off the wall. Waltzing in is Miguel Cairo on an RBI double by Scott Rowland.
Well, now it doesn't matter whether Brandon Phillips got the runner over or not. But if that ball is caught in left center field by the Speedy Bourne, that's when it really matters. But you bounce it off the wall as far as he did, you could probably score from first.
Well, that steal for Cairo was big in getting him in that position, and the Reds with a 3-2 lead and only one out. Rolling at second.
Look at those eyes.
Johnny Gomes' eyes are that way pretty much about an hour and a half before the game starts.
Cross the line and it's game on.
An average of .361 in the month of May to start tonight. Second in the National League behind Christian Guzman. Gomes. Gone.
The eyes have it.
Preview of what will come after the game's over. The fireworks going off as Johnny Gomes goes deep for the 7th time of the year.
It just shows you what kind of player Johnny Gomes has turned into here in 2010. A triple to right field with 2 strikes. And now with a runner in scoring position, he just lifts one right out of here. That was a bullet, too.
Yes, it was. Sam LeCure is giving Dusty Baker a solid night of inning eating.
This is the best he's looked yet. And he's come out throwing strikes on the corners. The breaking ball that A little advice that Brian Price gave him in the dugout about staying on top and staying back has obviously helped him here. Good night, Irene.
Corey Sullivan down as the Astros are retired by strikeouts all 3 innings. 8-2, Reds with the lead. So Drew Sutton to pinch hit. Drew Sutton pokes that one deep. Got it.
That's a grand slam, baby. Oh, against his old team. You think he ain't rocking and rolling right now?
Drew Sutton. Four more on the board.
Wow. Anytime you play against your old team, you want to do something good. Well, that's doing something great. He caught that baby right on the nose, right down the line. Ball didn't hook a lick. See you later, right off the pole. Fair pole in this instance.
Yes. Grand slam home run for Drew Sutton. 14-2 Reds.
This is the biggest lead the Reds have had all year long.
And the 14 runs ties for the most in a game this season for the Reds. They had 14 against the Cubs on the 8th of this month. Of course, for a while, the Reds had so much trouble with the Astros here at Great American Ballpark. This will be their 8th straight win at Great American over the Astros following an 11-game losing streak to this team in this building.
Sometimes you just got to get even. Now, see, let me get loud, I told you.
We'll just listen. Mike Owens, Tommy Manziel. That'll do it. Big night for the Reds. 15-6. Sam LeCure wins his Major League debut. Drew Sutton, a pinch hit grand slam. Johnny Gomes, a 2-run homer. Brandon Phillips started it with a solo homer in the bottom of the first after the Reds had fallen behind by a run. But a nice Major League debut by Sam LeCure and a big offensive night. 15-6 Reds over the Astros here at Great American. We'll be right back. Well, the weather is as hot as the Redlegs are. Welcome back to Great American Ballpark. It's the second game of the weekend series with the Reds and the Astros. Cincinnati threw some big offense up last night to be able to score the first victory in this series. Tonight, the Reds will see they can't keep it going. Aaron Harang will be on the mound. The Reds will try and continue their power surge. And they are now a game and a half in first place in the National League Central with the Cardinals losing today in Chicago. Thanks for coming back to us. Paul Keels and the Cowboy, Jeff Bradley. And boy, you can tell everybody's just waiting for all the fun here tonight, Jeff.
It's amazing how the atmosphere changes when clubs are winning and everybody is starting to expect a win versus hoping for a win.
Yes, and everybody has been contributing to it as well. Reds trailing 1-0 to Houston here in the bottom of the second. Another guy on the disabled list actually transferred to the 60-day DL. Outfielder Chris Dickerson will be coming up next inning to spend some time in the booth with us here to talk about what this team has been doing as of late and tell us a little bit about where he is with his rehab. Story in the paper earlier this week, Chris has been working with a soccer ball out there trying to stay in shape.
It's whatever you can do to keep your legs in shape and to keep your blood flowing. That blood flow really is what helps you heal.
Jay Bruce strokes it to right. By 1-1.
Speaking of healing,
yes,
he just got real healthy.
Number 6 for Jay Bruce. 18th consecutive game in which the Reds have gone deep.
Paul, I don't know how many times we've seen this as Jay takes a belt-high fastball and puts it into the Astros bullpen. But the Reds give up a run. They might give up 2. They might give up 3. And bam, the offense comes right back and takes it away from the opponent.
Just like last night. Phillips at third, Roland at first. As Bruce looks at the 2-2 count against Brian Moeller. Has he done it again?
Yes, he did.
Jay Bruce, second dong of the night. And that'll score 3.
Got him. Attaboy, Jay. Yeah.
Home run number 7 for the Reds right fielder.
Did you say he was looking for something up?
He was looking for something up.
And he hit it up and out.
It looks as though Cash tries to grab this before he hits it.
Oh, boy. Ramon Hernandez.
And that's 8.
Whoa.
Monet. Oh.
That's his first one of the year.
That's awesome.
And the third one of the night for the Reds, the second one in this inning. And the hits just keep on coming.
Tries to go in. That was supposed to be a sinker, and it didn't sink. And that's usually where they end up.
We're scoring an awful lot of runs with me in the booth right now. Am I going to have to stay for the 4th?
You may get one of us kicked out of here. Bottom of the 4th here at Great American Ballpark, and this big crowd has been treated to an offensive explosion for the Reds. Ramon Hernandez with a home run. 2 home runs by Jay Bruce. There's a look at the folks that have made the trek here to Great American Ballpark as Cairo jumped into the act. Long ball number 2, Miguel Cairo. Goodness gracious almighty.
Hanging breaking ball, and he hits this baby a ton. You talk about coming out of your shoes. He looked like he jumped up off the ground when he hit that one.
Not just his second homer of the season, his second homer this week, Miguel Cairo.
Watch the pitch where it is. Breaking ball, that's what you call a hanger. And I'm not talking about a clothes hanger either.
Pops that one into the seats in left field. Miguel Cairo in his 15th major league season, and the Reds with a 9-1 lead over the Astros. A beautiful facility. Drew Stubbs gives that one a ride. Bourne turning in each different direction, but he cannot catch that one. Drew Stubbs, homer number 6.
Now this is the part of the Reds that we have not seen in a long time, and that's when you put your foot on the accelerator. You don't let it off. Once you get ahead, you keep hammering away, and I think that's why that game, and you go back to it in Atlanta, where the Braves were able to come back at the end of the ball game. Now the Reds have it in their mind. You don't let up. As we heard Chris Dickerson say earlier, you put your foot on the opposition's neck.
And step hard.
That's right.
5th homer of the night for the Redlegs. And here's another look at the 6th of the season for Drew Stubbs.
Ball out over the plate. We saw Stubbs hit a similar ball early in the season, a grand slam game winner
against the Cubs. Wesley Wright, the left-hander, has come right in and been victimized like those who preceded him on the mound. There's Drew Stubbs.
We can only hope to contain him. I love that.
You do, don't you?
You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
Here's Ramon Hernandez, who homered in his last at-bat, part of that 6-run third for the Reds. Wesley Wright was just called up from AAA Round Rock prior to last night's game. He was 3-0 with an ERA of almost 5 with the Express.
He was a regular on this club last year.
Hernandez. See you later.
He had no home runs coming into the game. And after that swing, now he has 2 in this game. My, oh my.
And is the second Reds player in this game with 2 home runs. Got every bit of that one.
If you got a ticket to this ball game, you might ought to save it.
11-1 home team. 12-2 Reds. Nick Nassett trying to close the door here. Corky Miller took time out there. The Reds will have won 7 of their last 9, 10 of their last 15, and 23 of their last 32 once this next out is secured.
And Nassett wants to strike out. I mean, any pitcher that's in this situation, he wants to strike out, and here the crowd go berserk.
He's already gotten 1 here in the top of the 9th. Break-even pitch to Kevin Cash. Got it. 2 up in first place over St. Louis in the National League Central for the Reds, who post a 12-2 victory over the Astros and hit 6 home runs. That's good tonic for any pitcher.